Markets are down for the day after a record year of growth. Doug Flynn is joining us now from Flynn Zito Capital Management. What a year, Doug. What's going on this final day of trading in 2024? Good to see you.
Good to see you, Laura. How are you?
Good.
It's been a great 2 years, actually. 2 years back-to-back of 20+% returns on the market. Also, when you look into AI and tech, those areas and the NASDAQ and those related stocks are up more than 30% back-to-back in 2 years in a row. And so we don't get that often. The last time we had that was in the late 90s. That starts to get people a little bit concerned about where we go in the following year. There are some positives and some negatives, of course, but there's no discounting the fact that these 2 years have been great for everyone's portfolio, especially if you leaned into the AI and tech trade.
You know, the stock market overall is green for the year, right? So what were the top stocks in 2024? Can you break it down?
Yeah, there were a couple of them. I mean, there's stocks we focus on within the S&P 500, which most people have. And then there's stocks overall. There's a stock called Sezzle, which competes with like a firm where you can buy something and pay it off over time without interest. That stock is up over 1,000% year to date. So now it was down as low as 16. It went up to 470. Now it's been cut in half. That makes sense in a stock like that. It's going to be that volatile. So if you sort of push those to the side, because there's a number of those, and you get into the stocks within the S&P 500, you have companies like Palantir, which is sort of AI analysis for defense and other areas of the government. You have Nvidia, of course. That's like the number 3 stock, still doing really well with 180% return. And then you do have something in the electricity area called Vistra, which you know, that's we're going to need more demand. We're going to have more demand for AI and the computing and all of that, and the crypto that goes along with that. So those areas have done really, really well this year.
All right. I guess I'm kind of asking to cheat off your homework, but what are you going to be keeping an eye on in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at all the big banks that put out their sort of outlooks, they're all always within 9 to 11% is their estimate for next year. They always fall, and you can't go wrong. That's like the not making a prediction, say 9 to 11%, because that's basically the long-term historical return of the market. And so what happens is if inflation doesn't pick up from here, and if we do get a normal rate cuts to sort of leveling, the backdrop is pretty good overall. Inflation has settled down, interest rates stabilized, corporate earnings still look really good for next year, and that's the thing. That being said, the market is overpriced, so you need the market to come through. You need the stocks to come through with those earnings, or you need a corporate tax cut. I think that's what the president's banking on to move the market forward. And if we don't get that, then we're going to have a little bit of a problem with some overvaluation. But other than that, things are looking pretty good, as we just talked about.
All right. Well, we'll take that, right? And real quick before I let you go, tax season will be here before you know it. Any final tax tips?
Yeah, if you got any losers, you got about 2 minutes to get the trade in. Otherwise, you're focusing in on what you can do before April 15th, looking at some things for IRA contributions and all that. But we're going to tackle that in our Tax Tip Tuesday that we do in the spring before tax season. No question about it.
Excellent. Excellent news. We'll look forward to that. Doug Flynn, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Laura.
Thank you.